probably my favorite videos to film. This is 101 Pans Update 3. Even though these are my favorite videos to film, there are going to be a little bit of changes I'm going to tweak on this update. Everybody, if you're new here, hi, how are you? Thanks for stopping by and welcome to the family. My name is Rose. I'm a girl boss on a no-buy who loves to save money and project pan. Today's video is my third update on 101 Pans. The creator of 101 Pans is Liz Plans and Pans over on Instagram. She ended up taking a break and is no longer on Instagram. Liz, I wish you well. I hope everything's okay and know that you are loved and missed. She created 101 Pans, and the objective of 101 Pans is to try to hit 101 pans of eyeshadow by December 31st of 2020. This started, I want to say, August of September of 2019, and my dates on this is 10/27 of 2019, so I started a little bit later. For this update, I have a couple of announcements and a couple changes that I want to do moving forward on this project. It's a new year and I haven't been as successful in hitting pans of eyeshadow as successful as I would like to be anyways. Moving forward, I'm not going to no longer force myself to try to think in my mind that I have to pan a certain color of an eyeshadow. If that eyeshadow is not working out for me, or if I don't feel I'm going to be successful at hitting pan on that eyeshadow, is when I'm going to start choosing another new eyeshadow. Of course, with you guys is how I always do it. I'm going to give myself at least 3 months on each eyeshadow that I pick, and after 3 months and approximately 20 uses on that eyeshadow and I still have not hit pan on it, then I will be selecting new eyeshadows. Just because if I'm not feeling inspired by that shade, or I've been having difficulties with it, or if I don't feel I'm going to be successful on it, I'm no longer, new year, new me. I'm not forcing myself to use any makeup for that matter if I don't feel inspired by it, or if I don't feel that it's working out for me, which has been huge in helping me learn to finally let go of things and declutter things that I know in my heart of hearts are not working for me. Not to say that I'm going to declutter my eyeshadow palettes, because we'll get there. That's baby steps for real with that one. But as far as trying to hit pan for the sake of 101 Pans and my eyeshadow project called Pan the Way, if I'm not feeling successful, or if I'm not hit pan on a certain eyeshadow after 20 uses and about 3 months of use, I am going to then switch and pick new eyeshadows. Let's go ahead and get updated, and I will show you guys the progress, if I have made any pans, if I have any on my eyeshadow palettes for this project. I have to look down. If you see me looking down, I'm looking at my notes so I can go over to see how many times of use, because I have been keeping track of my usages and everything. So let's go ahead and start with my BH Cosmetics Weekend Festival palette. This has been in the project since the beginning 3 months ago, and I just wanted to let you guys know that there are going to be 3 palettes that we are going to choose and pick new shades with together. So there are 3 of the palettes that I have, just because I hit pan on one and I ended up picking a new palette that only has 1. And that's the other thing, I have a stack of eyeshadow palettes here and it's just hard to store them. Only one has one shadow in it, another one has another. Since I was trying to do 2 shadows per palette, In total, we are going to pick 3 new palettes, and then I will select 2 shades from each palette with you guys. Just because, you know, I noticed a lot of people did like finales to their Pan Those Eyeshadows of 2019 and then restarted a new one in 2020. I didn't do that. I just kept it going because I wanted to see if I could be a little more successful at hitting some more pans. But here we are. It's been another month and I haven't been successful in hitting any more pans. And I will insert a video later on showing you the 3 palettes that were selected because I'm choosing them by random. Once the palettes are chosen, I then get to choose 2 shadows in each palette of my choosing. So we will get into that. I just wanted to share with you guys the progress that I have made so far on the current palettes that I have, starting with the Weekend Festival palette. The 2 shades that I had in here were the shades Magical and Boho right here. I have used these some more since my last update, but not a whole lot. I have used the shade Magical a total of 8 times. 8 times in 3 months. I mean, I know I could have done better, but that's the other thing. And knowing that I have so many different eyeshadow palettes, and I'm just trying to figure out and re-strategize a better way to go about doing Pan Those Eyeshadows, because it is one of my favorite projects. I know you guys love them, and I'm just trying to learn how to better strategize. So, and then also the shade Boho, I used a total of 8 times as well. This palette is going to get rolled out, and then I will show a new palette being chosen. I'm going to show all 3 of them. I have a pre-recorded little video of me choosing all 3. I want to first show you the 3 that are going to get rolled out first and the progress. The next palette that's going to get rolled out is my Summer and Saint Tropez palette. The shades that were chosen in here were the shades Crepe and Date Night. And for the shade Crepe, I managed to use it 7 times, which is such a shame because BH has really great palettes and really great formulas. For the shade Date Night, I have managed to use that only 6 times. So that's what I mean. It's been 3 months and 6, 7, 8 uses is just not enough for me. It's going to be either 20 uses and there's about 20 something uses and I still haven't seen pan, or 3 months of use and there's no pan. Then that's when I'm going to start picking new palettes and stuff, just so it also helps me to not neglect the rest of my eyeshadow palette collection as a whole by just focusing on certain ones for months and months and months and 6 months on end, and I still don't have no pan. And if I'm feeling uninspired or if it's a difficult shade to work with, I'm just not going to force myself anymore. So I hope you guys understand, but that's also the fun part that I feel is choosing new eyeshadow palettes with you guys, and to keep it fresh and to keep it interesting. So even if I happen to pick a difficult shade, not knowing it was difficult, of course we will just see how it goes and play it by ear. The last palette that's going to get switched out is my Goddess palette. I did hit pan in the shade Hera on my last month's update. I will have it in the cards for you guys if you want to go check out the update from last month. There was 1 shade left in this palette, and it was the shade Luna right here, and I've only used that shade 3 times. So again, this is going to get rolled out. Before I show you the footage of the 3 new palettes, I want to go ahead and show you the 2 that are going to stay in, and that is my LA Girl Hot Hot Heat palette, just because this has another month in the project. This got recently drawn in about a month and a half in, so we still have about another month and a half's worth of use and progress on this palette with the 2 shades in here. And if I'm not successful after another month and a half or so, then that's when I will decide to pick a new palette and attempt to pan another different eyeshadows, just because I feel as a whole I'm not very good at panning eyeshadows. I'm starting to learn but it's okay, it's all in good fun, and it's helping me to stay kind of focused on certain eyeshadows. And that's the problem when you have a large collection like I do, is I want to branch out and try to use as many of them as I can. So it's really hard for me to narrow narrow my focus down. The two shades that were in here was the shades Vacay and Fiesta, and as you can see, they do have some pretty decent dips on them. I will insert photos if I have any. Unfortunately, I have not used this palette at all last month. I really wanted to try to focus on the other ones since I knew that I was going to eventually roll out those and roll in new ones. So this got left and neglected as well. But they do have some decent dips in there. I'm going to keep this in the project for another month and a half, so we shall see. Maybe I can be successful at hitting pan. And the last palette that I think I'm going to roll out just because it is big. This was my 35F palette that replaced the shade Hera from the Goddess palette that I did hit pan on. I rolled in and picked a new palette, and it randomly chose this one, and then I ended up choosing the second shade in right here. And actually, there is a very nice dip on it. It's going to be really hard to show you guys. I feel like I can probably hit pan on that shade. What I'm going to do, for the sake of not having like 5 or 6 eyeshadow palettes in at one time on this project, I'm going to roll this out as well. So that'll only leave me a total of 4 palettes in for the project, which is more than enough. I am, in the meantime, still going to focus and try to hit pan on that second shade in because I feel I might be able to do it. Since everything that I do hit pan on counts towards my 101 pans, it will still get counted towards it. It just won't be in any more updates, so we shall see. That's the other thing with the 101 pans. I know realistically in total I've managed to hit pan on 18 pans so far towards my 101 pans, and it's a new year already, and I just feel realistically in my mind that there's no way I'm gonna hit 101 eyeshadow pans or 93 or whatever it is left by December of this year. There's just no way. I don't pan that fast. I'm still gonna stay in the project. I'm still going to keep doing 101 pans, and every pan that I hit on anything will get counted towards it. But as far as eyeshadow palettes and eyeshadow pans as a whole, I haven't even hit one pan yet for 2020. And I see other people hitting pans, and it's like, it's never going to happen for me because I branch out so much and I use so much different variety. But I do enjoy pan those eyeshadows as a whole because it does help me to, again, really kind of narrow my focus, even if it's just a little bit. So I want to set a goal for myself right now, and realistically, I want to try to see if I can't do 20 eyeshadow pans in 2020. 20 and 20 is my new goal. I will still stay in 101 pans just for fun. But my new realistic goal is going to be to see if I can't hit 20 and 20, pan those eyeshadows. And I'm still in the process of rewriting out my inventory and breaking down all of my eyeshadow palette pans as a whole to give me a grand total of how many eyeshadow pans I do have. Once I'm finished breaking my eyeshadow palettes down, I think I'm going to pull out of my project called Pan the Way. You know, whoever decides to join in on that one, well, there will be a winner and a prize, and who am I to say if I win, I would win my own prize. I won't no longer need to do it that way. I'm going to go ahead and insert the footage now to show you guys the 3 new palettes that were randomly chosen, and then we will pick 2 shades per palette. So as you can see, it chose the 3 palettes was my Dose of Colors Francation palette, my ColourPop Mar palette, and my Revolution Beauty The Emily Once palette. We will go ahead and pick 2 shades per palette from these 3 palettes, and then we are keeping in the Hot Hot Heat, which will give me a total of 8 pans of shadow to try to attempt to pan. So we shall see how successful. And again, moving forward after about 3 months of use on these shadows, and if I get to about 20-25 uses, which as you can tell at the rate that I've been going, I haven't even been successful to get to 15, except for I feel I've been more successful at neutral colored shades like Kano and Hera. I was able to hit pan on those because I could use them, multitask those shades. Let's go ahead and start with my Dose of Colors Francation palette, and we will pick 2 shades. I think the shades that I'm going to pick out of here are going to be the really light cream glittery shade. It is an absolutely stunning formula. Dose of Colors has a great formula, and these are pressed glitters. I already have some swatches from the Mar palette, and we'll get to that in a minute. But I just wanted to show you that really pretty cream light colored pressed glitter. It is really beautiful. I'm going to go ahead and pick that one. I feel I might be successful at hitting pan. We shall see. And then I'm also going to choose, I'm not going to do anything crazy and use, if I have the choice to pick shadows, I don't think I'm going to pick bright colors, not to even say because I love my bright and bold colorful looks, but I just noticed I've been more successful at painting more neutral tones and everyday type of wear shades. So with that being said, the next shade I'm going to choose is the lightest cream colored shade in the palette right there, just because I can use that to set my lid, and I can use that as a blending shade to blend out darker colors. And that is the shade called Basic, and then the light glitter shade is called Just a Kiss. So we're going to use these 2 shades in the Dose of Colors palette, Basic and Just a Kiss. Moving forward to the Mar palette, this is a great palette from ColourPop. I went ahead and, as you can see, I swatched them out just because these 3 shades are very similar. The shade My Way, the shade Wild One, and then the shade Boozy, which is a little more orangey toned. It is a warm tone palette with some pops of blue, but it is a stunning palette. I went ahead and I'm going to go ahead and choose the shades My Way right here, which is the first swatch right there, a brown shimmer shade, so that might be a challenge. And then I went ahead also and I chose the shade Top Down, which is the darkest brown shade in the palette, just because I might be successful at doing a darker brown shade as to build up on my outer V and as a liner, and I can maybe multi-use that as well. So those are the 2 shades from the Mar palette. And then lastly is the Wants palette from the Makeup Revolution and Emily Noel. Such a big palette, so I had a lot of choices in here. I think the 2 shades that I'm going to choose in this palette is the shade right here called Prayer and Oh Heavens right here, because I can use Oh Heavens as an inner corner and a brow bone and all over my lid on days maybe with just the brown shade in there, or even just Prayer and Oh Heavens. So I'm trying to be more realistic and moving forward on shades that if I have the option to pick like I do for 101 pans. Just go ahead and recap one more time. For 101 pans, I have the palette LA Girl Hot Heat Everyday Vacay with the shades Vacay and Fiesta, which stayed in from the last month and a half. We chose the Dose of Colors Francation, and the 2 shades that I have chosen are the shades Basic and Just a Kiss from the Francation palette. And then we have the Mar palette from ColourPop with the shades Top Down and My Way in this palette. And then lastly, the Wants palette by Emily Noel and Makeup Revolution with the shades Prayer and Oh Heavens. Those are my 4 new palettes. I hope that this all made sense to you guys, and me trying to explain it the best way that I possibly could to help you guys to get a better understanding of why I have decided to do this the way I have. And this is also going to be the same rule of thumb for my project Pan the Way, which there will be a video on that coming up After this one goes up, hopefully within the next couple days behind it. I don't want to force myself to pan something just for the sake of needing to feel like I need to pan it if I'm no longer enjoying that color or that eyeshadow or whatever type of makeup it may be. I want to make sure that I stay inspired and that I feel like I'm being successful with trying to pan certain things. Just for the sake of forcing myself to pan something that I haven't been enjoying or I don't like the product, I'm just no longer going to do that anymore. I have such a large collection and I want to make sure that I am able to get full enjoyment. That's why I'm doing rotational type of project pans as well, like my project called Project Rotate Your Stash. I will link that in the cards for you guys. Feel free to go check it out. And Project 10 Uses Roulette Style. I think that is everything, you guys. Thank you so much for stopping by. And please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And until my next video, everybody enjoy the rest of their day. Bye.